guys, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I did a video on 8 ways to use the hobonichi weeks a couple weeks ago, and you guys seem to really like it, so I thought I would come back and do another video on 8 ways on how to use the hobonichi original in the A6 size. And I actually have a bonus tip at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that because I think you might enjoy that. So I'm actually going to show you in a hobonichi dupe, which is like the Kimbor planner, and I will link the video up here if you guys have not come across it. It's a great dupe for the hobonichi if you guys are interested or the price point of the hobonichis don't work for you. And I thought I would just show you in here because the layout is pretty much the same and gives you guys an option for those who are trying to join the hobonichi community but maybe just don't want to spend as much. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first one is a pretty traditional layout, and then we'll kind of get into some more creative ideas. So in this first one, I just have the 3 top priorities up here. So in that 3 box area in the top right, you would kind of write the must-do things for the day. And then on the left here, you would do your schedule. And so you would have like your meetings, your tasks, anything that's time specific, obviously you would put on the left, utilizing that time stamp kind of thing. And then up here, you would do your tasks. So list all your tasks for the day outside of the top 3 items. And then kind of in this bottom right, you would just have the notes for the day. So a pretty standard layout, I would say. And so moving on to the second layout, again, I have the priorities up in the top 3. I just really like that because I do like to kind of highlight out the, 3 meaty things I want to get done for the day, just because I'm more likely to tackle those if I like call it out. And then I've split this into kind of like a quad style. And what I have kind of on the left is my personal, and then on the right is work. And so I would then list obviously any tasks or events or appointments or whatever related to personal on this side, and anything for work on the right side. Then at the bottom, I would have some notes related to personal or to work. The other thing that you can do if you need like the schedule is instead of doing the tasks up here, you can move the tasks to the bottom, still have it split like this, tasks at the bottom, and then use this top part for your timeline. So scheduling your meetings and whatever based on that timeline, and then the tasks at the bottom. Okay, and I kind of like that because sometimes I do like to see what's going on personally and at work so I can balance both. Okay, so in my third layout, what I have in here, in the top right corner here, I now have the meals. So just quickly, my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what I'm planning to have that day. Then again, on the left, I would have just events and appointments here. So instead of like all of meetings and, time specific tasks and stuff, I would just have kind of like the events and appointments high level items on the left here. So not necessarily a schedule, but just calling out where I need to go for the day. Then on the right here, I would just do kind of meeting notes. So this is for somebody who's maybe using another planner or a notebook to write down kind of tasks, or you kind of keep those items somewhere else and you would prefer just to keep track of, your major things throughout the day and kind of the notes for the day. So over here on the right, I have my 4th layout, and in this one, it's a bit of mix of everything, and I kind of like this because it merges both memory keeping style as well as keeping it functional. So let me explain. So on the left, using this timeline, I've put memory keeping up here, and what I mean by that is just kind of calling out the major things that are happening through the day that you want to keep track of. So this is kind of similar to when people are memory planning in like the weeklies of the Hobonichi Cousin, that vertical style memory planning, and I know people really enjoy that. So kind of doing that here and just tracking kind of the high level things that happen that you want to remember, and not necessarily like a small thing like you took out the garbage or you went to like the doctor's appointment or whatever that you don't care about to remember in the future, you wouldn't write here. But anything you want to keep track of or look back on, you would write here in the timeline. And then on the right here, it's kind of broken out into various sections. So you could have a section for work, a section for home. If you have social media and like a side hustle, then you can kind of categorize into these various categories. Of course, it doesn't have to be these specific categories. It could be even like for your kids or for your partner or whatever, but just more of like a categorized section on the right. And then at the top up here, I just have, kind of the highlights of the day. So top 3 things or the 3 memories of the day that you want to keep track of. So I kind of like that one. Okay, so then on to the next layout. I think this is number 5. Again, here I have, this is kind of like a wellness wellness spread, I would say, I guess. So up here I have the 3 meals of the day, and then below here I kind of have like various trackers. So for example, my water, my vitamins, walking, my workout, cleaning, if you want to track your weight, etc. And then you kind of write the details on the right side. And then below, you can use this space for jotting down kind of your mood of the day, your motivations, that kind of stuff. And I would say this is kind of nice if you want to use this as a wellness planner, just to keep track of the various things that you are trying to improve on in your life. And I kind of like that layout. And then on this one in layout number 6, this one is geared towards health and fitness specifically, I would say. So here I have, you would log up here kind of your exercises, your 3 main exercises that you're trying to focus on or improve on. And then down here, you would have like a log of those exercises along with any other things that you're doing. So for example, you might be focusing on squats, hip thrusts, and bench press, but below you would add in kind of your jogging or stretching or whatever other things that you're kind of focused on throughout your workout. And then you would write in kind of like your sets, your reps, your weight, how long you ran for, what speed you ran for, etc., kind of down in this log. And then in the middle part, you would kind of write a summary about how your energy was, how you were feeling. Were you feeling motivated? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel like you're improving, kind of thing? Just kind of note down some thoughts. And then at the bottom, if you had space here, depending on how long your workout plan was, you could kind of add in the meals as well. And that could also kind of help you see, like, is there some linkages between the two? For example, depending on the meal you had, maybe you had more energy that day, or, if you had, ate junk food and you didn't have a good workout, maybe they're kind of related once you've been doing this for a long time and you kind of can see a trend. So that's that one. Okay, then this spread over here, spread number 7, is more of a journaling type spread. So I know this is a really popular planner as a journal. So I just listed some ways and some different types of journaling you keep. So again, up here in the top, you would kind of write the highlight of the day. And then I just jotted some different types of journaling ideas. So one that I was thinking that I'm sure a lot of people use is morning pages. So I don't know like the specifics, but I know it's kind of, the concept is that you wake up in the morning and you hand write like 3 pages, just whatever's in your head, you just hand write it. For me, I could never imagine writing 3 pages of stuff. So like even this 1 page I feel like would be a lot for me. So that was one idea, was maybe doing your morning page, and you would just do 1 page on each day and just write down whatever you think of first thing in the morning. Then another way to use this is kind of like a doodling journal. So you could do like doodles of the day, or art journal, I guess you could call it. Then you could use it as a a reading journal, or a podcast journal, or even a shows journal. Depending on what you like to do in your spare time, you could do that. I know other people, I think Amanda Lee Plant did like a music journal of some sort, where she had like the covers and then wrote about the songs and stuff. And then the last thing, kind of like the art journaling, was like doing watercoloring, because I know this is really good paper for watercoloring. So those are kind of the different journaling ideas. And then in the last one here, this one was kind of, again, more like a memory style layout. and it kind of just keeps track of a little bit of everything though. So at the top here, you would kind of have your gratitude of the day, and then along the left side here, you would put just a little snapshot of the various parts of your life. So exercise, you know, a quick snapshot if you did any exercise or what it was, quick snapshot of like maybe your favorite meal of the day or whatever. At work, was there any highlight at work? Family or kids highlight, social media kind of highlight, spending you could track, what you're reading, what show you're watching, just like a really quick snapshot of each thing though. Yeah, so that would be kind of like an overview for the day. And then here you would kind of do some more journaling or writing or whatever. Okay, so those are the 8 layouts that I kind of thought of. And one bonus idea that I had was for somebody like me who's kind of really into printables, and just incorporating some way to add printables just to make the planner a little bit different. Because I know for me, like, the problem with me and why I can't stick in a notebook is just because the layout is the same day in and day out, and I get bored so easily. I mean, you guys know, if you guys seen my channel, I literally switch planners every 2 months just because I get so bored. So what you could do, and what's kind of like I thought was kind of a good idea, is you could tip in an insert, a weekly insert for that matter, and that way you could have a weekly view in this planner, because as you guys know or may not know, this planner has the monthlies at the front and it has the daily pages, but it doesn't have the weekly. Of course, you could get that little weekly supplement book, but I like my weeklies to be with my dailies instead of like separated at the front, personal preference. But this way, so if you tip something in, you could have that week with the days and see it. Let me show you. So here I just tipped in a weekly. I mean, this is just from my shop. Of course, you could use any kind of weekly. So I like this one because this is the hobonichi A6 like supplement design. So it kind of like matches with this style. And again, I'll link it down below, but basically it's the hobonichi weekly supplement, but in a printable form. And it's the A6 TN size. And the reason why that's important is so that you don't have like that gaping ring area, obviously. But of course you could use like any insert. It doesn't have to be a 2-page insert. It could be a 1-page, and I'll show you an example of that. Okay, and so what I could do is tip one of those in, and then see how I have, like, say, pretend these are like, this is the week of dailies. And then I could have the weekly on this side, because I'm a weekly planner as well, and I really like to have a weekly view, and I could fill this out before I do my dailies, right? And then you just fold it up and kind of like tuck it in like that, and then your dailies are kind of nested within the weekly, right? And if you print it double-sided, so you would have it opened up, this week would relate to these dailies, but then if you turn it to the back, then when you start your next week, you would already have a weekly ready, and then you would do the dailies here. So that way you're not tipping in as many sheets as well. So not to bulk up your planner too much, even though I know a lot of us like it really chunky. So that is really cute, I thought. So that's the bonus tip. And I'll just show you another example of like, just like a 1-page. And you can of course do like the 1-page. So this is, for example, like a ring planner insert where you have like a bit of space. Of course, you could like cut that in half if you wanted and not have that. And the only thing with the week on 1-page, I find in the A6 size, is it obviously is a lot thinner. So depending on how small you can write or how big you write, this might not be enough space compared to a week on 2 pages where you have like double the room, right? And this you have even like a stacked weekend. So it's just your personal preference, but I really like that. And yeah, that's basically all I have today. Let me know down below if you found this helpful and what else you guys would like to see. And make sure you subscribe if you're not already. I make a lot of functional planner videos. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.